Now let's get Thompson from Capital Market Academy, London. Thank you very much. Femi Awoyemi from Proshare, Nigeria. This is the kind of first initiative since the market meltdown about 4 years ago to build capacity for Nigerian capital market, and this is quite an initiative. We're just entering that period. Thompson, let's start from you. One of the statements you made a couple of days ago, starting this initiative with Proshare and with Nigerian Stock Exchange, is that Nigeria presents an opportunity, and that you see such opportunities in Nigeria despite the downturn that we suffered in the past few years.
That's right. I mean, from all the people that we've met in the capital markets and the year we spent researching here and speaking to different organisations around the marketplace, there's a definite appetite for learning and development. The key is developing the right products, the right learning tools, and deploying them at the right time in the right way. And that's where a partnership with Proshare and our responsibility comes in. Thankfully, we have some experience in developing bespoke programs, and that's what we're looking to roll out in Nigeria.
Femi, for your years in Nigeria, especially in recent years, capacity building has been an issue. We've seen a new generation in the market now since the exit of the former members of the stock exchange in terms of the top, middle-level staff. So, as well as the stockbrokers community as well, you've seen a new crop of stock traders who are coming into the market, who had been part of the market all these years. So, you think this partnership with Thompson and the rest of his team is something that the market really needs at this time?
Well, there are two issues. Capacity building as an issue on its own. I think that's not even restricted to the capital market. I think it's a national issue, sometimes an African issue for us in terms of putting the right skills, the right competencies to move us forward to where we're going. And that goes back to what this new team is doing now, defining where they're going. Therefore, certain gaps are therefore being identified. What we feel is that in looking across the landscape and what we have to do to solidify the developments that are going on in the capital market, we need to bridge the gap in terms of knowledge for the financial media, for analysts, for operators, for the regulators, and the NSE, the current team, has been doing on its own a number of things, working independently with its training team and working with other partners. And I think it is to this that the strengths of Capital Markets Academy in the UK, and especially his own pedigree and his experience, comes to play. Because when you want to put this training, you need an institution or an individual that has the right integrity, so that people know that if you come through the training out of the Capital Markets Academy, there must be something that will have passed through. So what we need going forward in the market is to find ways in which Capital Markets Academy can work with the Nigerian Stock Exchange and work with operators. And recently, I believe we've received some support from the Nigerian Capital Markets community, who understand that there are new things coming into the market making, issues on bond, how to develop the retail market, securities lending, and what have you. And we will need to build up capacity in our organization.
And you sincerely believe the Nigerian Stock Exchange can't do this alone?
Well, if you look at some of the changes they've made, they've actually made changes and brought the right skill into the right positions. They've got competent people, doing the right things. But like every person who understands change, they also need to leverage on best practice and leverage on people who have the knowledge. Now, what Capital Markets Academy brings for you is that best practice in terms of we've been there, we've done there, we can leverage with the theory. But the unique mix of Capital Markets Academy is to leverage on those practitioners who have done it and been there here and bridge the practice together. So what you don't have is just some trainers from UK coming to just ram it down people's throats here. They actually
I just want to ask Thompson about that. If you're just covering something from the British, of course, well-developed markets into Nigeria, and how does it work with the local market? We're just 50 years old, so it's still relatively young markets.
We don't take a course from the UK and deploy it anywhere. We take experience from the UK, and then we spend a long time engaging the local market to develop a unique product that benefits from international experience, but also addresses immediate and current local issues. The program we've run here for the last 3 days, for instance, I think there's one trainer from the UK and about 4 or 5 Nigerian speakers who are active in the Lagos business community right now, and that's the whole point. So you bring the balance of theoretical learning and to learn best practice, but you also get realistic, tangible case study and day-to-day implementation of that because then people will leave the program far more likely to put it into practice, and they have local points of contact to go back to keep the discussion going. It's not just an in and out exercise, it's about continual learning.
When we talk about partnership for this kind of training, Proshare spent the past few years building capacity for investors and market regulators and operators in terms of providing a website that is up to date and current in terms of market information. Do you think there's still a gap here or more that needs to be done in terms of knowledge? Because one of the key topic of discussion over the past 1 year, 1.5 years in terms of change, revolution that we've seen in the Nigerian market is that the investors, especially retail investors, lack adequate or relevant and timely information about the marketplace.
I think there's a lot more to be done in terms of educating people and helping them understand. I mean, we talked about things like securities lending or bonds through to market making. I was chatting to a gentleman yesterday and saying, he was asking me about mutual funds, and I said, well, if we can get to a point where people understand them, then they're far more likely to use them. If people don't understand something, some people say, I don't understand it. Most will just keep quiet and do nothing, because then they don't have to share that they don't understand, but they're certainly not going to use it. So when you come back to a question about can the NSE do a lot of this themselves, I think they're making some good strides in putting the structures in place and the if you like, the machinery of the market, but to actually get people to participate, they have to be able to trust it. And before you can trust something, you have to understand it. And that's hopefully where we can help.
Femi, you think Proshare has been able to bridge some gap in recent years in which this kind of training with Capital Markets Academy becomes a little bit more easier, more relevant, and at the end of the day could have something to go back to on a daily basis where they can get more information?
I think we forced the market to ask the right questions. In terms of impact, we look back to 6 years ago where we started. You have people who can question analyst report now. People who do not publish daily market reports maybe a day after to move forward. People can challenge annual accounts. We have much more open investor relations services. But in terms of product knowledge, in terms of service awareness, we haven't scratched the surface. But this current team is also faced with that market development challenge, but they're asking the right questions, and it is those questions they're asking that's created opportunity where a CME can come in and say, look, we can bridge the gap between where you seek to go and where we are at, and then we can leverage what you already know with our experience from where we're coming and from other clients which are going through what you're going through, and we can come together. And there have been a couple of such partnerships that will soon begin to emerge. And even for us at Proshare, we may have to decompartmentalize how we operate to allow these other firms to thrive.
Perhaps we need Nigerian version of Capital Markets Academy, whole in Nigeria.
Time will tell.
Perhaps that's not in the far too distant future. Thank you very much, Thompson and Femi Awoyemi. Thank you very much for speaking with us.